Hello dear students, welcome back once again to this video tutorial. We're going to start a new chapter today, and that is chapter 8, the part 1 of economics, microeconomics, and this chapter is elasticity of supply. This chapter has some numerical questions to solve, and so this tutorial will be all about the practical questions. So there are two methods to calculate the measurement of elasticity of supply. The first method is called percentage method, and this is all numerical questions. And the second method is geometric method. So in this tutorial, we'll learn about percentage method. Now we will learn about this formula to calculate elasticity of supply, and thereafter we'll straight away start with our practical questions. So when we are calculating the elasticity of supply, this is the formula that we'll be using. Percentage change in quantity supplied divided by percentage change in price. Now, to find out the percentage change in quantity supplied, we have to simplify it, we can use this formula, all right? So elasticity of supply, we can denote it as E and small letter s like that, by delta Q divided by delta P into P by Q. So here delta Q, it stands for change in quantity supplied, and delta P stands for change in price, and the P and Q stands for original quantity and original price. So I'll tell you how to find out delta P and delta Q, as we start with the questions, right? So let us start with question number 1. So question number 1 is, we can open page number 93. First question, it says, if price of sugar rises from 16 per kg to 18 per kg, the quantity supplied expands from 100 kg to 150 kg. What is the elasticity of supply of sugar? So we're going to find out the elasticity of supply of sugar here. It says that when the price is 16, the quantity is 100. The quantity supplied is 100 kg. And when the price is 18, the quantity supplied is 150. So now how do we find change in quantity and change in price? So delta P stands for change in price, right? So here the price, you have to always subtract from here from 18 to minus 16, and that way you will know the change in price. If you minus 16 minus 18, you will get minus 2. So how to calculate the change in price? You always get the highest number here, the second one. 18 minus 16 here is 2. The change in price is 2. So that means there is a 2 rupee increase in price. Okay, and the change in quantity here is 150 minus 100, 50. So that means when the price increases by 2, the supply also increases by 50 kg here. So now how do we find the ES now, that is elasticity of supply? The formula, delta Q by delta P into P by Q. So P here is original price, Q here is original quantity, and we have already found out the change in quantity and change in price. It is here 50 and 2. So you just put it here, 50 divided by 2 into original price 16 divided by original quantity 100. If you subtract it, 2, 8, 16, right? 2 into 8 is equal to 16. Now 50 into 2 is 100. 2 into 4 is 8. So now we got 4. So 4 is the answer. All right. So this is the elasticity of supply here. ES is 4. So this is the answer. All right. So this is question number 1. So I'm going to show all the questions here. It's very simple, and I want you to watch the tutorial first and then start solving the question by yourself. All right. Let's move on to question number 2. Here in question number 2, it says that the coefficient of elasticity of supply of a commodity is 3. So that means the elasticity of supply is already given, that ES is equal to 3. Now, a seller supplies 20 units of this commodity at a price of 8 per unit. So a seller supplies 20 units at a price of 8 rupees. All right. Now, how much quantity of this commodity will the seller supply when price rises by 2? If the price rises by 2, that means 8 plus 2 will be 10. Yeah, and we don't know the value of the change in quantity here. So here we are asked to find out the change in quantity. Okay, how much will the seller supply when the price rises by 2? That is what we're going to find out in this question. So first of all, find out delta P and delta Q. To find out delta P again, 10 minus 8 is 2, and it is already given in the question as well that the change in price is 2. Now delta Q is x minus 20. We don't know the value, so therefore we're taking it as x. So x minus 20, you just keep it like that. All right. So now put on just simplify. Take the formula here. ES is equal to delta Q by delta P into original price divided by original quantity. Now ES is already given 3. You write it down 3 here. X minus 20, it is delta Q divided by 2, it is delta P into original price 8 into original quantity 20. So now you can divide it 2 4s are 8, right? And 4 5 the 20. So we are left with x by 20 divided by 5. So if you cross multiply, then we will get 3 into 5. 3 into 5 is equal to x minus 20. Now if you multiply this one, you have 3 5s are 15, x minus 20. Now you can bring it back, just make it simple here. The x value is, you keep it here, and the remaining here, if it is minus 20, if it comes on this side, it will be plus 20. So if you add up this one, it will become 35 is equal to x. So that means we found out the quantity as 35. Yeah, so this is 35. Okay, so the seller will supply 35 units when the price rises by 2 per unit. So if the price rises by 2 rupees, the supply will be 35 units. So this is question number 2. Now let's move on to question number 3. Now in question number 3, we are asked to, here as well, the elasticity of supply is given, already given here too. It's let me read out the question. Meanwhile, I want you also to go through the question in your textbook. The quantity supplied of a commodity at a price of 8 per unit is 400 units. So make a box like this, write P and Q. When it is 8 rupees, it is 400. Its price elasticity is 2. So that means ES is 2 given. Calculate the price at which its quantity supplied will be 600. So whatever the price is, we don't know how much the price is increased. So now we don't know, so therefore we wrote it as x here, and the quantity will be 600. So now find out delta P and delta Q. So delta Q is equal to 600 minus 400, it is 200. Change in quantity, change in price we don't know, therefore we wrote it as x minus 8. Now put on the formula. ES is equal to delta Q by delta P into P by Q. So ES is 2, delta Q, it is 200, delta P, it is x minus 8 into original price 8, original quantity 400. So you please do the subtraction, multiplication and whatever. 200 into 2 is 400, 2 4s are 8, so we're left with 4x by 8. So now if you cross multiply, then we get 2x minus 8 is equal to 4. You multiply it here, 2 into x, 2x minus 2 into 8, 16 is equal to 4. Now this minus sign will go the other side, so it will be 2x equal to 20, x is equal to 20 by 2, wherein we got x is equal to 10. So now that means with a 2 rupee increase in price, the quantity will increase by 200. So we got the price here as 2. Alright, so this is the answer. X is equal to 10. So we are asked to calculate the price at which its quantity supplied will be 600. So the price at which the quantity supplied will be, price is equal to 10 rupees. Sorry. Rupees 10, the quantity supplied. The quantity supplied will be 600 units. Okay, so this is the answer. So let's move on to question number 4. Here as well, the elasticity is given. ES is equal to 2. And the question says, when its price falls from 8 to when the price falls from 10 to 8 per unit, its quantity supplied falls by 500 units. So when the price falls, that means when original price is 10, when it falls, it becomes 8. Um, the quantity supplied falls by 500 units. So we don't know the original quantity, so therefore we are going to take it as X. All right, and it says that when the price falls, the quantity also falls by 500. So since we don't know, we're taking it as X. So X minus 500, because it falls by 500, right? So here, X minus 500. Now, that way we can find out the change in price and change in quantity. Change in price, 8 minus 10 is equal to minus 2. Quantity supplied, X minus 500 minus X. So this one, yeah. So you can take this as plus X, this is minus X. So just cut it, plus minus X. So we got minus 500 here. So let's put all the values in the formula. ES is equal to delta Q by delta P into P by Q. So delta Q is minus 500, delta P is minus 2 into 10 by X. So now 2, 5 is 10. So minus minus you can cut it. So we are left with 2 into X cross multiply is equal to 5, 5 the 25, 2500. So X is equal to 2500 divided by 2, we got 1250. So therefore here the original quantity is 1250. It's written here, and the change in quantity here 1250 minus 500, so answer is 750. So in this question we are asked to find out the fall in quantity, not the original quantity. So therefore you if you write it till here 1250, your answer won't be correct. Okay, you have to find out the delta Q. So 1250 minus 500 is equal to 750. So this is the answer. Clear? So let's move on to question number 5. Now in question number 5, it says when the price of a commodity rises from 10 to 11 per unit. So original price is 10, when it rises to 11. So that means there is an increase in 1 rupee here. Its quantity supplied rises by 100 units. So we don't know the original quantity, so therefore we just write it as X, and it says it rises by 100 units. So if it rises, then you can add up, right? So X plus 100. So now let's find out, write down whatever is given. ES is equal to 2. It's already given in the question. Delta P, that is change in price, 11 minus 10 is 1. Delta Q, that is X plus 100 minus X. So plus minus X again. So we have 100 here. So ES is equal to delta Q by delta P into P by Q. So ES is already given 2. 100 by 1 into 10 by X. So just do the cross multiplication, then you will find out the answer as 500. So here as well, original quantity is 500 and change in quantity is 600. So original price, original quantity plus 100, 500 plus 100 is equal to 600. So you see here X plus 100, right? So that is what we have written here, X plus 100. All right, so this is the answer. Now let's move on to question number 6. Question number 6 here says commodity X and Y have equal price elasticity of supply. The supply of X rises from 400 units to 500 units due to a 20% rise in its price. Calculate the percentage fall in supply of Y if its price falls by 8%. So now here it says that the commodity X and Y have equal price elasticity. So therefore, we can just write it down here that percentage change in quantity supplied for X divided by percentage change in price for X is equal to percentage change in quantity supplied for Y and percentage change in price for Y. Now, it also says that percentage change in supply of X, so that means if you say percentage change in supply of X, it says that X rises from 400 units to 500 units, right? So that means change in supply will be 500 minus 400. Okay, divided by, since we are going to find out the percentage, so divided by original quantity into 100. So we got as 25%. So percentage change in supply of X here is 25%. Now, what we're going to do is find the, we'll take the equation here. Percentage change in supply of Y divided by N. Why we say 8 here? It's because it's already given in the textbook that the supply of Y, percentage fall in supply of Y if its price falls by 8%. So in the numerator, it is percentage change in price, right? So it is already given that the percentage change in price falls by 8%. So we are just going to take it as 8. Here, we found out here in the previous that the supply of X is 25, yeah? So we wrote here, we're going to write here 25. 25 by 20. Even 20, it is given in the textbook that due to 20% rise in its price, right? Due to 20% rise in its price of X quantity, supply of X. So that is why we are just going to put it down here, 25 divided by 20. So now, percentage change supply of Y is equal to 25 by 20 into 8, if you're going to find out the percentage. So here, so that means the fall in price or the fall in supply of Y is 10%. With the 8% fall in price, the supply falls by 10%. So this is our answer for question number 6. Now lastly, last question, this is question number 7. In question number 7, it says that the supply of a commodity at a price of 20 is 500. At a price of 20, it is 500 quantity. A 10% rise in its price results in a 15% rise in its supply. So 10% rise in price. So how do we find out the rise in price? It says it is not given that it's 1 rupee or 2 rupee or 3 rupees. It says 10% increase. So let's find out the 10% of 20. So we're going to take P1 is equal to, so P1 is for the change in price, yeah? 20 plus, there's a 10% rise in the original price. So 10% of 20 is 2. So 20 plus 2 is 22. So that means the change in price is 22 here. Quantity again, 500 plus 15% of the original quantity, right? 15% of 500. So we're going to write down here, if you find out 15% of 500, you'll get 75. So 500 plus 75 is 575. Now we know the change in price and change in quantity. So we can find out the delta Q and delta P. So delta Q is 575 minus 500, it is 75. Delta P is 22 minus 20, it is 2. Now we have all the required data here. So let's put it in the formula. ES is equal to delta Q by delta P into original price by quantity. Delta Q is 75, delta P is 2, so we put it here, into original price is 20, original quantity is 500, so therefore 20 by 500. So if you divide it, then you will get 3 by 2. If you divide 3 by 2, you will get 1.5. So the elasticity of supply here for this question is 1.5. Alright, so this is it for this tutorial. From this question in the main exam, you will at least be getting one question for 4 marks from these numericals. So please go through the numericals, all the numericals, watch the tutorial thoroughly, and then once you're done watching the tutorial, just try to solve the question by yourself. Okay, so with this, we have come to the end of this chapter. So alright, this is it, and take care, and I'll see you all in the next tutorial.